Hey guys, what is up? And welcome to a brand new series on the channel. We are going to be talking everything AFL. I don't know if I'll be doing this every single week, but I probably will be doing it. I don't know yet. I'm a bit undecided. We're going to see how today goes. I want to welcome you to Talking AFL Episode 1. Everything AFL in this video. Hopefully down the line we can go and do some live so you guys can actually comment. Live comments. I can answer some of your questions. If you guys aren't in the Discord, please go check that out. It's basically just going to be me rambling on of my thoughts on the current week of the AFL. We just had round number 6 completed. And round number 6 was, it was very, very interesting. It was Anzac Day weekend. And I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts, give you guys some headlines, and basically just talk about where I believe most teams are at. So why don't we just start with round number 6. Now, if you guys don't know, I'm an Essendon fan. Yes, pray for me, please, but I am an Essendon fan. We're going to start with round number 6. And, we start all the way on Friday night. Now, they don't have any Thursday night games for some unknown reason, which I'm pretty disappointed in. I wish there was Thursday night games. I quite enjoy the Thursday night games. It just breaks up the weekend. But if we go all the way back to Manuka Oval, it was Friday night. It was the Bulldogs and the Giants where the Dogs got the job done. So the Western Bulldogs remain undefeated. So Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs are the only undefeated teams in the league at the moment. And it's actually quite crazy to think that both teams are undefeated and both teams are looking forward to, a massive finals tilt. It's only round number 6, but if you start the season 6-0, I feel like there's a genuine chance you are going to play in the finals. On Saturday, the Cats just absolutely destroyed West Coast 136-39. That was just crazy. We had Mitch Duncan kicking that barrel from 50, 60 meters out. Gold Coast defeated Sydney in the battle of the young teams. Hopefully Gold Coast can actually start getting some consistency going. We had Carlton and the Lions getting the job done. Better signs, though, from the Blues. They were definitely playing a lot better football than they were in previous weeks. And yes, Melbourne defeated Richmond on Saturday night by 34 points. That was probably the best performance I've seen from a Melbourne team in so many years, probably since their finals series where they made the preliminary final. They were absolutely unbelievable. Dusty Martin got concussion. It's been a while since I've actually seen Dusty Martin get injured, so that was really interesting. We had on Saturday night, we had no fans at the Fremantle North game, and that was pretty interesting as well, considering North Melbourne did put up a fight, but Fremantle just a little bit too good. We move on to Anzac Day. So Anzac Day, we started with the shootout between the Hawks and the Crows. We had the number 2 draft pick. It was number 1 or number 2, kicking 5 goals, and you had Kaczynski kicking 5 goals 3. Adelaide were up by, 20-something points in this game and ended up losing. So that was actually pretty surprising. But that was a good game to lead us into the Anzac Day match between the Bombers and the Pies, where Darcy Parish, 42 touches and 2 goals, led the Bombers to a 24-point lead. I feel like the Bombers did control that game. Collingwood did fight back in majority of the quarters, but I feel like the Bombers did have control. Collingwood were really, efficient when they were going forward, so Collingwood got the job done. And the final game of the Anzac round number 6, was the Power and the Saints. Boy, oh boy, what is going on at St Kilda? What's going on at St Kilda? I know they've got a few injuries at the moment, but I did not expect this. They are dropping well below what I generally thought. If they lose next week, I'm not too sure who they're playing. I think they're playing the Hawks. If they play the Hawks next week, boy, oh boy, and they lose, it is panic stations down at Moorabbin because they need to turn it around. They need to turn it around fast. They've had some pretty disappointing losses in the last few weeks. I think they lost to the Bombers by 50, lost to St Kilda by 50, and then they lost to the Power by 54. So, I do think St Kilda can turn it around. They do have a pretty good list. We'll see what happens. Brad Hill needs to get going. He's going to miss through injuries, but, that is just... yeah, that is the surprise packet. We have a look at the ladder, and we've got the Western Bulldogs and the D's. Got Power in 3rd, the Cats 4th, Sydney 5th, Fremantle 6th, Richmond 7th, Brisbane 8th. North are still yet to win a game. You've got Collingwood 17th, and you've got St Kilda 16th. Who would have predicted Collingwood and St Kilda being 16th and 17th after round number 6? I definitely wouldn't. And, it's going to be surprising. It's going to be... What happens to Nathan Buckley? What really does happen there? Now, how this is going to work, we're just going to review the current round, and then maybe we'll move on to just some headlines I want to talk about, and then we'll go into some questions from the fans. Now, I got everyone in the Discord to send me some questions. I will answer a couple of them. I'm not going to answer every single one. We don't really want to be rabbling on for 2 hours, but just going to be a quick talking footy first episode. Some of the headlines I do want to talk about. We're going to start with the Bombers' future. Now, yes, I'm a Bombers fan, but I feel like the future is bright at Bomberland. Fremantle and the Bombers, the way they've been able to rebuild their teams while not actually bottoming out. I mean, the Bombers, they drafted Archie Perkins, Zach Reed, and Nick Cox. They also brought in Peter Wright, who's been very good for them, and Nick Hind as well, who has, I mean, he's got a genuine chance to be the recruit of the year. I mean, my word, Nick Hind is basically the replacement for Adam Sard. And I definitely feel like the Bombers, their future is bright. Things are looking okay for the Dons. Darcy Parish, if Zach Merritt can sign on, maybe if they get Josh Dunkley next year. I mean, I feel like they do need to shore up their back line. But I tell you what, if the Bombers do manage to get Josh Dunkley, Zach Merritt ends up signing with the Dons, that's a pretty good looking future for the Bombers. I mean, they've got something to work with. I'm not saying they're going to win a premiership in the next 2 years, 3 years, but there is definitely something to work on for the Bombers. And I mean, I feel like there's something there. The Demons. Now, are the Demons the real deal? Now, I was watching this with a few mates this game, and basically we're just asking each other, well, like, are Melbourne the real deal? I mean, or is Richmond just completely off? Now, Melbourne have defeated Geelong. They also went on to defeat the Tigers as well. So they have defeated some pretty good teams in the top 8 so far. We still need to see them against the better teams of the comp. I mean, we haven't seen them play Port Adelaide yet. We haven't seen them play the likes of Brisbane. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens. But, I mean, Christian Petracca is here. He has basically announced himself as a Brownlow medal contender. He was really good last year, but I feel like he's just taken his game to a whole new level. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of that. Has Christian Petracca really taken his game to the next level? I feel like he is a definite chance for that Brownlow. And the way they're moving the ball, the D's, is just, I mean, it's good to watch. It is really, really good to watch. I'm liking the way that Melbourne are moving the footy, and they beat Richmond at their own game on the weekend. It was basically just surge footy in the wet, and we know how good Richmond are in the wet, so that was pretty surprising. West Coast Eagles. I just wanted to discuss West Coast. I feel like they are just a completely different team when they come and play in Melbourne. Now, when they play in Perth, they look dominant. They look basically unbeatable. But when they come to Melbourne, they look like a completely different team. Now, I know I'm not getting caught up in the whole hype of it. They are missing a lot of players. Luke Shuey, Elliot Yeo, McGovern got injured. I'm not getting lost in the hype, but I tell you what, things are looking pretty dangerous for the Eagles. If they can't come to Melbourne and put up better showings, I mean, I don't think Geelong are a 100-point team better than the West Coast Eagles. That was quite remarkable. And you see Mitch Duncan, he was just dominant in that game. I feel like we're going to have to see a lot more out of West Coast if they are genuinely going to be a contender, because the grand final isn't played in Perth. I mean, the granny's not played in Perth. Like I said, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. But yeah, I mean, West Coast, they definitely need to change things up, because when they come to Melbourne, it's just they don't look like a top 4 team. They don't look like a top 6 team, and they definitely did not look like that on Saturday. And Jeremy Cameron, boy oh boy, when Tom Hawkins and Jeremy Cameron figure it out, they are going to be a dangerous forward line, a very scary forward line down there at the Cattery. So I want to talk about the Richmond Football Club as well. Now, I did mention this before. Is it time to panic? And of course, it is not time to panic. I still feel like Richmond are still the best team in the league. We know Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs are undefeated at the moment, but I genuinely still feel like Richmond are the team to beat. Now, we know what happens last year. They did lose a few games early on. They did it the year before, but they just managed to come good when it matters. I mean, Dion Prestia has been injured for basically 2 years now, but when the finals come around, he's good to go, and he always performs. So I wouldn't worry about the Richmond Football Club at the moment. I definitely feel like they will come good. I still feel like they have a lot to I mean, I still feel like there's still that fire in the belly for the Tigers, and there's still a massive chance to go for that three-peat. And I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few weeks. They've got a pretty tough game this week against the Western Bulldogs. That is going to be an absolute belter, but I definitely feel like we will see a response out of the Richmond Football Club this Friday night. Now, before we get into round 7 and we look at round number 7, I thought it was time to go and basically have a look at some of the fan questions. Now, I did ask in the Discord. If you guys aren't in the Discord, I will put it in the link in the bio. So go check that out. I just wanted to basically ask the fans any questions for the first talking footy video. And our first question comes from, I'm pretty sure this is Coop. Who do you think is currently better, and who do you think will have the better season, the Western Bulldogs or Melbourne? Now, I feel like the Western Bulldogs will win more games than Melbourne. I do feel like the Bulldogs are a better team than Melbourne. Now, I'm just saying this on the fact of we haven't seen really Melbourne do this previous years and be consistent. We've seen the Western Bulldogs win a grand final. They added Adam Treloar. They are a very tough team. Now, they have lost Josh Dunkley for, I think, 3 months, so that's going to be a big out. But I feel like the better team at the moment, the better midfield, is the Western Bulldogs. I feel like Melbourne and the Bulldogs have the top 3 midfields in the league. Or top 4, maybe, midfields in the league. I don't want to leave anyone out. I'm going to say the Western Bulldogs are the better team, and I feel like they'll have the better season. I feel like they'll finish higher than the D's. I'm not discrediting the D's. And like I said, I definitely do feel like the Bulldogs will have the better year. But it's definitely going to be very, very interesting. Now, long live Terrence Clark commented and asked, who do you reckon will finish top 4? My top 4 that I'm going with at the moment is the Western Bulldogs. Now, this isn't in any particular order. I'm going to go the Western Bulldogs, Geelong. I'm going to go Richmond. And then I'm going to go... So who have I gone? I've gone Western Bulldogs, Port Adelaide, Geelong. And I'm going to squeeze in... I'm going to squeeze in Richmond. I'll say Richmond, Port Adelaide, Western Bulldogs, and Geelong. Now, I know Melbourne are undefeated, but they're not going to go undefeated all year. I definitely don't feel like they will, but that is my top 4. Top 8, a bit undecided at the moment. So my top 4 are the Bulldogs, Port Adelaide, Geelong, and Richmond. I feel like Richmond will win enough games down the stretch, and I definitely feel like there is going to be... I feel like Melbourne... I feel like they're going to be tested basically down the line from the season, so it's definitely going to be interesting. Now, I've also got another question. How far will the Eagles go in 2021? I definitely feel like West Coast will... I feel like West Coast will make the top 8. I feel like they'll be top 6 team. I mean, they play enough games in Perth to basically get that chance to basically play in Perth, and I mean they'll get enough wins to qualify for the finals. So I'm definitely going for the Eagles to finish top 6. 5 for Tipper after an average start to the season with 3 wins and 3 losses. How do you think the rest of the season will pan out for the Tigers? I already answered this. I basically feel like Richmond will be fine. So I answered this bit earlier on, so I'll answer this one again. And John, will North win a game, and how far do Crom get? Listen, I'm going to say it. I feel like North's only chance to win a game this year is either going to come against Essendon. I mean, maybe Essendon. I'm not, maybe Hawthorn. Essendon and Hawthorn. At the moment, Collingwood, the way they're playing, I feel like Collingwood do play North in the next few weeks. That's definitely going to be interesting. Don't know if North will win a game. They're looking extremely rough at the moment. And Adelaide. I feel like Adelaide will win maybe 8 to 9 games. I'll probably finish around the 9 to 13 mark. I feel like they're improving. They're getting a lot better, Adelaide. And I'm really liking the look of their young players. So kudos to Adelaide. Really liking the look of those. They turned their path around, because last year they were looking pretty dire. And I think it hit like maybe round 13. They started to really roll. So yeah, really interesting. Okay, so let's move into round 7. We're going to have a look at round 7 before we close this video. Next week, I'll be starting to name my team of the week. So I'll go over the games and we'll name the team of the week. I'll get you guys to comment down below who should be in the team of the week. Like I said, I'll probably be releasing these every week, once a week, talking footy, talking AFL. If you guys want to see this again, if this gets 50 likes, I will definitely do another one. We start on Friday night, and it's the Bulldogs and the Tigers. Boy, oh boy, what a game this is going to be. Honestly, can't wait to see this. I am tipping the Western Bulldogs to not win this. I'm going to tip the Tigers. I reckon Richmond will get the job done. I feel like they just have... they've got a little bit more to play for than the Dogs. The Dogs are... I mean, the Dogs will want to basically make a statement, but Richmond are coming off 2 losses in a row. Coming off that loss to the Melbourne Football Club, and I definitely feel like they'll bounce back. We've got Collingwood and the Gold Coast on Saturday. I'm tipping Collingwood to bounce back, but this will be a very close game. I feel like Gold Coast... If this is any game Gold Coast can win in Melbourne, this is definitely one of them. they could definitely beat Collingwood this Saturday. GWS and the Crows. I'm going for the Giants. I feel like the Giants, they've been playing some good footy. They're starting to look like the GWS Giants of old. St Kilda and the Hawks on Saturday afternoon. I'm going to go Hawthorn. I feel like St Kilda, their backs are against the wall at the moment. And I'm going to go the Hawks. I feel like Hawthorn will get the job done. St Kilda's season is dwindling out. They really need to start winning. On Saturday night, we've got the Lions and the Power. It should be an absolute belter. I'm going to tip the Lions. They are so hard to beat up at the Gabba. It's basically like playing at Adelaide Oval and Perth. They are very, very tough to beat. I'm tipping the Lions. I mean, they did lose Lachie Neale, which is a big out. But I feel like they'll get the job done. Sydney and the Cats on Saturday night. Geelong should be able to get this get the W. I mean, it's at the SCG. Sydney have been pretty good there this year, but I'm going the Cats. Saturday afternoon, we've got the match of the round, the D's and the Roos. I'm going to go Melbourne comfortably. And the Bombers and the Blues. Now, I feel like this is the most interesting game of the week besides there's a few really good games. Essendon, Carlton, you've got Brisbane, Port, and you've also got Richmond and the Bulldogs. I'm going to go the Bombers. I feel like the Bombers will get the job done. The way they played the other week, if they can back it up, sheesh, they're going to be looking pretty good. And last game of the round is the Derby, the Eagles and the Dockers. I am going to go West Coast. West Coast need to bounce back after that basically 100-point loss last week to the Geelong Football Club. So, hope you guys enjoyed the first video. Like I said, there will be a Team of the Week next week. Sorry for rattling on if I did, but this is basically like a little podcast. Just talking footy, a little bit of barbershop talk. We're just coming out to basically just, talk footy. That's all we're going to do here. There's no script or anything. It's just going to be talking footy. If you guys want to get involved in the episodes, make sure to comment down below your questions for next week. I'd love to know some of your questions. Maybe come back to this video after the round's finished. You can ask me my questions and get them ready for episode 2 for next week. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, get on board. And I'll see you guys in the next video on the channel. Stay blessed.